Well, Sterling isn't talking tonight, but his wife is. Rochelle Sterling provided this statement during today's game, saying, quote, "I do not condone those statements that you heard. I do not believe in them. I am not a racist. I never have been, never will be. The team is the most important thing to my family. I haven't listened to the entire thing, but I do believe there were some parts that were cut out." A lot of people talking about this. Let's bring in Exavier Pope. He's a sports attorney and principal owner at the Pope Law Firm in Chicago. Exavier, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me, Jonathan.
Okay, so what are the legal ramifications here for Sterling?
Well, first, the league has to investigate to determine whether the tape that has allegedly his voice is true. And we know right now that Vivian, the young lady that was on the tape, she's not necessarily cooperating with the league because you have their issues with privacy laws. And so she wants to protect herself. She's also stated that this tape got out accidentally. So first, it has to be authenticated.
So wait a minute, when you say issues with privacy laws, go back to that. What do you mean by that?
Well, in the state of California, it is basically a two-party consent state. And so when you're recording a private conversation, essentially, you have to have the consent of the person that you're taping. And so I'm pretty sure that Donald Sterling was not aware that he was being, his private conversation was being recorded. Otherwise, he would not have stated what he said. And so you have that issue. And you also have TMZ has a contract with whoever maybe have turned over the tape. And so there's a difficult procedure in authenticating. And so the National Basketball Association may have to bring an outside expert to authenticate the recording.
So assuming the NBA does authenticate this and does prove that this is indeed the man that everyone assumes it is, what happens next, though? I mean, he owns the team. He's not a player. He's not a coach.
That's right.
Can the league still fine him? What can they do to try to punish him?
Great question, Jonathan. The league could fine him. You see that the league fined Mark Cuban for criticizing officials $500,000. So obviously, with words of this nature, they may fine him up to $1 million, maybe $5 million. But under the IRS tax code, Section 162, he may be able to deduct the amount that he's being fined.
Wow.
And so this may help him, and then he's worth almost $2 billion. So this is a drop in a bucket, any fine that the league would issue to him.
But can the league go beyond this? Can the league somehow pull the NBA branding from the Clippers or even possibly force him to sell the team?
Well, there's the NBA's bylaws and constitution does allow for the NBA to take over operations for a team, but that relates mostly to finances when maybe an owner is in trouble, not necessarily when he makes derogatory statements. And so as an owner, there's 30 owners in the National Basketball Association. This sets a really big precedent. And so they're going to be very careful in actions that may affect them one day.
It is also the concern, I imagine, if you punish the team's owner, you also run the risk of punishing the team, the players and the coaches who are innocent in all this, correct?
Absolutely. And don't think it's just only of Chris Paul, Coach Doc Rivers, Blake Griffin, the superstar power forward. Think of the other concession workers, the accountants, the HR personnel of the team. They're affected by this as well. And so if you hurt Donald Sterling, you potentially may hurt the team. And forcing Donald Sterling to sell, he bought the team for about $12.5 million in 1981. The team, according to Forbes, is worth about $575 million today. So forcing Donald Sterling to sell essentially rewards him for the increased value of the team.
Yikes, which is what makes this such a complicated, messy case. Okay, Exavier Pope, thank you for your time tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Jonathan.